Welcome back. In a big relief to former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan, the Islamabad High Court today barred authorities from arresting Imran Khan till Wednesday in any new case that has been filed after the 9th of May, minutes after granting him a 2-week protective bail in a corruption case, which is the Al-Qadir case. So the bench has also ordered the authorities to provide foolproof security to the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf chief. Khan is expected now to return to his residence. To help us understand the developments around Imran Khan and the kind of unrest that we have seen in the neighboring nation, let me welcome Mr. Suresh Goel, former ambassador, joining us on the program. Good evening, Ambassador Goel.
Good evening to you, Afrida.
Good evening. I want to begin by asking you, first just to put things in context for our viewers and to refresh the memory that here is a former cricketer turned politician who came to power in 2018, enjoyed warm links with the military for over 3 years. While in power, he hounded the then opposition politicians who are now in government. And in his own words, the military had helped him stay in power amid political challenges. But after they fell out of favor over military appointments, Mr. Khan has turned against the generals, the opposition leaders. The then opposition is now, the current establishment is out to get him. Now, in the current scenario, Ambassador Goel, where do you see this going? Because on ground, the unrest that we have seen in the past has led to military coup. Do you see that coming?
I think the situation now is slightly different from the past when there were military coups. Imran Khan, to the contrary of all expectations, he has played really like a very mature politician. He took on the army. He basically went all out to criticize the army for various things. And eventually, when we thought that he was actually going to be out of the reckoning because of the criticism, he has again bounced back. Now, let us see what happened. Even if you look at the incidents which led to the current situation, it all began with Imran Khan criticizing the ISI personnel, senior officer, Faisal Nasir, criticizing him of attempting at his life and also being responsible for killing of his journalist friend. I think his name was Arshad Sharif. And we thought, I must say that even some of the people who are watching Pakistan thought that this is all going to pass. It didn't. Eventually, he has been arrested in a manner like almost like a common criminal, and things have really gone out of control in that sense. But that is only part one. Number two, what is happening really here is that it has now actually become more or less Imran Khan versus the current government and the army who is supporting the current government, and then the judiciary had jumped into the fray, supporting him all along into the various cases. So now Imran Khan is not all alone. That is number 2 point. Number three, for the first time, what we are seeing is, as they say, Awam, the common people jumping into the fray and going against the army, which has never happened in the past. So on the whole, the situation is not exactly the same as it happened in the cases of the coups, right. But it's actually much more complex than the past. Afridi.
This is very important, and I wanted to, in fact, draw your attention to that part as well, which you've already highlighted, that the Awam, the public, is very active in the current circumstances. The army headquarters were overrun. The protesters were on a rampage.
Yes.
There was a serious breakdown of law and order. So the current government does not seem to have the popular support. There, Shehbaz Sharif's popularity is plummeting. So several, factors are coming in the narrative here, along with the fact that the military, it seems, Ambassador Goel, is also divided. It's not as if they unanimously oppose Imran Khan.
Absolutely. But if you look at the whole equation, the way it is turning out, eventually, army knows that if they lose out this battle, they will have lost it forever. So I think even Ultimately, it will depend upon whether they are able to put their own house in order. And I think today, when they give the marching orders to the Corps 4 commander in Lahore, uh, his name Salman Ghani, he has been given the marching orders, and Fayyaz Hussain takes over. That does show a divided house, and at the same time, a serious attempt for them to put the divided house in order. And in any army, for any commander to be given the marching order is a very serious matter.
Yes.
So there could be a possibility that there could be a coup within the army. I mean, when I say coup, a rebellion kind of a thing from some of the senior officers, or they fall in line. Let us see what happens by tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
This
Number
is again,
one.
yes, go ahead.
I know. Number two, which is I think even more important, is will Imran Khan be able to hold this kind of public fervor, public agitation? Because what is now going to happen is that even after he is out of the jail, and even if he remains out of jail for the next 1 week or 2 weeks, I think the High Court has given time for about a week before he can be actually arrested in any particular case. But whatever it is, ultimately, the question is, will he be allowed to contest the elections? Is he able to contest the elections? And if he's not able to contest the elections, can he maintain the same public support for a long time to come? There are doubts on this really. And if he's not able to contest the election, then it is really back to normal. So there are many ifs and buts. It will be interesting to watch how it goes over the next few days. Yes.
Right. I was also going to actually ask you about the fact that, we have already spoken about how the military, it seems, is divided. The other point here is the implications for India, because this crisis, Ambassador Goel, is unfolding at a time. Pakistan is going through its worst economic crisis. By all accounts, foreign reserves are depleting. Inflation has reached a record high.
Absolutely.
Yes, and the country has also witnessed a rise in terror attacks now with the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, which has been emboldened, it seems, with the Taliban's rise to power. All of this, would it have implications for India? This is our immediate neighbor we are talking about.
It would. I'm sure it would. But 2 or 3 things first. Number one, Pakistani army has good relations with Pentagon. We have seen that in the past, and that has not changed one bit over the last many years. Number two, for the Chinese government also, relationship with the army is very important because they will be looking for security of their own investment in Pakistan. Please remember CPEC $60 billion down on the project. Gwadar port, which is actually a naval port, but they require cooperation from the Pakistani army to really operationalize it. And therefore, the biggest security guarantor for the Chinese investment and the Chinese strategic interest is the Pakistani army. Therefore, and if you remember last time, when there was a visit from the Chinese defense minister, he preferred to meet with the Pakistani army people rather than the politicians. Therefore, China is going to be on the side of the Pakistani army. Pentagon is more comfortable. And therefore, if the Pakistani army is on the ascendant again, how will it change the equation, the strategic equation in the region? Number one. Number two, will China then actually make Pakistan an additional front against India? Number two. And we need to watch for that really. Therefore, all that is happening in Pakistan is of great concern to us because it does give that kind of an extra push to the army. Earlier, remember in the past, whenever the army was in the government, we were slightly more comfortable because the army was able to take initiatives, which the civilian government would have been able to take. I think the situation is now more different really.
Right.
Now, Pakistan army may be actually looking for more support from China and the USA.
Yes, all of this is important in the Indian context as well. Ambassador Goel, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you very much.
Very much. Thanks. Bye.
Right, let's turn to